as you can see, we've made a little bit more progress on the race vehicle hauler group build 2025 Ford LN 8000 race car hauler from AMT. I acquired another chassis, and where that discoloration is, I don't know if that's showing up or not, but right about in there, I extended the chassis on this. And I actually cheated. I got another chassis to use. I think that's from what was that from? The van kit, I think. That's where the extra chassis came in at. So anyway, when we have that chassis built and it all matches up with the extended cab there now, and I have that done. I used a bench seat for the rear, and then the front is all basically the same as it was. I just added the rear. But this chassis did fit right up there. That's going to be perfect on there. Let's see, what else? That's pretty much about it on the chassis. This is the hauler itself. I've got that done. I did not cut out the doors on it. I've run into that issue before. What happens is you cut out the doors and you had those all working, and then somebody comes along and breaks it, and then you got a model with broken pieces on it. So I've learned, for myself, it's going to a glassed-in display case, but still, somehow or another, those fingers always manage to get in there somehow or another. So we just left the doors the way they are. And so that's just assembled just the way it came from that's a box stock assembly. Let's see, what else? That's about it. We're just moving on. I've got a bunch of preliminary pieces. I've got the gas tanks all glued up, and I'm still going to weather those. Gluing them does weather it a little bit there, as you can see, but I got some sanding to do here and there. And then I will I will probably just hit those with some silver and dull coat is my thought on that. I thought about doing it black, but I do want those to actually be seen. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do on those is just hit them with some silver and then maybe some dull coat. I want them to look weathered and used a little bit. Okay, yeah, we were going to be having an issue with the drive shafts. I'm going to have to build at least one drive shaft for this thing because it's, that little bit longer there. I'll probably just use a piece of sprue for that. I've got some K&S metal pieces. I've got a couple up there. I've got some metal pieces to use, but I think I'm probably just going to use sprue on this because it's not going to be seen. So let's see, tires and wheels are put together. We got chassis pieces to put on. The engine is assembled and built. Basically, but just stock and box stock, no big deal on it. And so that's where we're at on this build. Oh, geez, I know something else I'm going to have to do is my exhaust. I'm going to have to extend my exhaust on this too. Probably sprue again for that. So the exhaust has to be extended and the drive shaft has to be extended. But I think everything else that has to be extended is done. So anyway, so that's what we're looking like there. And that's going to just, sit nicely on there. Nice little crew cab. There'll be the gas tanks going. Then I'll put a couple of just steps on the back here to get in to the back door on it. So there'll be just steps that go in back here. So that's my plans for it for the future. I've been away for a little bit. I had some health problems and I had to deal with those. Nothing major, not dying or anything, but just some things that just annoyances. And then I'm also getting my studio set up. I've got a building now for it. So that's delayed things a little bit. So that's why you haven't heard from me for anything, actually, for a while. So right now, with that in mind, let's see, is there anything else that we need to mention on this thing? Anything else? The glue, by the way, that I'm using, I love this glue. It's called Bondene, Plastrock Bondene. I use that pretty well extensively on my backup also for is Plastrock, same company, Plastic Weld. I use that and that. And then, the good old-fashioned orange tube. I mean, I use that a lot too. But my main things have been the Plastrock here. I really love that stuff. Now, for my windows, do I have that? I've got the testers. Someplace I've got some glue. I'll have to get into that when I put in the windows there. But I have some special glue that I use for the windows on it. Actually, I think I see it up here. Hang on a minute. Yeah, there it is, way up there in the back. So sorry about that, but yeah. So I use this. It's a little bit expensive. I mean, $4.29 for that little thing there. But it's canopy glue from Zap. And it's Formula 560. And it's a water-based glue. So I use that pretty well extensively for my windows. Sometimes I use this Testors teal. But I really prefer the canopy glue. And you get that right on your windshield, if you, make a mistake, get it on there, you can just wipe it right off, let it dry, wipe it off. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. The next things here is we're going to be working on finishing up this chassis, getting it ready to go underneath everything, and then we'll be putting the body onto the interior and finishing it up. And so you hang in there, and I will be back. And don't forget about me. I'm coming. So that's all the stuff most of the stuff that's going with it. I got the stuff in the box too. So anyway, this is Doug, the Modeling Hermit, and am I off the air? Yeah, yep, okay, I'm off the air and I'm gone.